Hello. All right. So I'm going to be live for just a little bit. I actually am going to go out to dinner with my mother. So I won't be on for very long, but I did want to jump on just in case anybody was here and wanted to talk about the parts of the cell. So you're ready for your quiz tomorrow. So I'm just going to wait a few more minutes, see if anybody hops on. I wonder if there's a link, if I can send this link. I'm going to try putting this link on Edmodo. See if that will help get people. So, I don't know if that actually worked. I don't know if that link actually worked. Very new to the whole live streaming. Right now I hear an echo. I'm pretty sure that's not normal. And Mr. Birbal, who usually helps me with all of this, is not here. So I'm going to just kind of mess around with some things. I'm not sure if you can hear me right now, and I'm not sure if anyone's even watching. Let me see if anyone's in the chat. All right, well, this first part's going to be pretty boring for anyone who's watching it after the fact, but I'm just going to go ahead and get started talking about some things to get you ready for your quiz tomorrow. So, obviously, your quiz is going to be about the parts of the cell, and if I remember correctly, there are 11 parts of the cell that you need to know the definitions of or the functions of. And then you're also going to want to be familiar with the similarities and differences between the plants and animal cells. So a lot of the organelles that we've been learning about are in both plant cells and animal cells. So let's actually start this time with the ones that are different. So plant cells have a couple of organelles that animal cells do not. So we've been talking a lot about the chloroplasts and how important the chloroplasts are for plant cells so that they can go through the process of photosynthesis. Animal cells, like the cells found in humans, we don't have chloroplasts in our cells, which means we cannot make our own food. So that's something pretty unique and pretty special about plant cells. They have chloroplasts in them, and they're always green. So look for the green structure when you're trying to find chloroplasts. And I always remember chloroplasts by the color, like thinking about the color green. And when I look at the word chloroplast, it sounds like the word color. So that's how I remember it. I don't know if that'll help you or not, but chloroplasts in plant cells only, and that's where photosynthesis occurs, meaning that's where the plant makes its own food. Another structure that's in plant cells but not in animal cells is the cell wall. So the cell wall has a rigid outer layer surrounding the plant cell, and this is important for a couple of reasons. Remember, the plant cell is part of a plant, and plants don't have bones. So at the cellular level, they have these cell walls surrounding their cells so that they can kind of stack on top of each other like bricks. And this allows the plant to actually stand upright since they don't have bones. And then the cell wall also supports the cell in the plant in general. And then the other thing that's different between plants and animal cells is the lysosomes. Lysosomes actually are in animal cells, and lysosomes are the ones that break down materials inside the cell. So a lot of times students will think about them as the digestive part of the cell, or if you're relating it to a city, which we're going to be doing tomorrow, my students will think of it as like the garbage truck of the cell, which is kind of neat. So lysosomes breaks down materials in the animal cells only. I have 2 viewers. This is exciting. Let me see if I don't have any comments, so I don't know if when it says 2 viewers, if like 1 viewer is me, and then that means someone else is watching, or if I actually have 2 other people watching the live stream. I don't know what it means, but I'm just excited that somebody's watching me. At least one other person's watching me, right? So anyway, my mom's here. I think I forgot to say at the beginning, maybe I did, I can't remember. My mom and I are going to go out to dinner, and so she's coming to pick me up. So I did tell her I was going to jump on and do a live stream really quick, so she knows that she's just going to have to wait for me. But she did just text me saying that she's here. So I'm just going to talk for a few more minutes and then say adios. So anyway, we've covered chloroplasts and cell walls. Those are in plant cells, and then lysosomes are in animal cells. So what's another difference between animal cells and plant cells? Well, they both have vacuoles, which is important for storing water and other materials. Remember, vacuole, water hole. Vacuole, water hole. But the vacuoles are actually very different between the two. Vacuoles in animal cells are small, and there's several of them. And then in plant cells, the vacuole is large, and there's only one. And we talked a lot about that today in class, saying that plants need that water not only for photosynthesis, but also to help support the cell. And then the other difference that you'll want to remember is the shape of the cell. So plant cells tend to be more rectangular, which makes sense. Remember, plants don't have bones, so their cells are really what support them and keep the plant upright. So that with their cells more like bricks, it makes it easier for those plant cells to stack on top of each other. And then that would make animal cells more round or spherical. And so the shape of the cell is also different between plant and animal cell. So other than that, everything else between the two excuse me, everything else between the two types of cells is pretty much the same. You have the nucleus, that's the control center of the cell. You have mitochondria, that is the energy, where the cell produces energy through cellular respiration. We have endoplasmic reticulum, or ER. That's where proteins are produced and then travel through the cell, like the roadways of the roadways of the cell. And then we have ribosomes. Ribosomes are where proteins are made. So remember, I like to think of ribs, and then ribs reminds me of, it is meat, and then meat is protein. So that's how I remember ribosomes make protein. Golgi apparatus. The Golgi apparatus is the part of the cell that packages up the proteins and delivers them. So remember, we talked about it being like the UPS, or someone even mentioned today that like it's like Amazon packaging up something and shipping it off. So that's the Golgi apparatus. And then, of course, we have the cytoplasm. The cytoplasm is super important because it's that gel-like substance that holds everything. So all of those organelles can be found in the cytoplasm of the cell. And then the cell is surrounded by a cell membrane, which is really important because that controls what can go into the cell and what can go out of the cell. So, anywho, I'm going to head off and go get some dinner with my mom. I hope you enjoyed this live stream. Hopefully you learned something, or at least remembered something that you'll want to keep in mind for your quiz tomorrow. So good luck studying. See you tomorrow. Toodles.